Hey everyone, welcome to another English grammar lesson. Today we're going to be covering parentheses. So what exactly are parentheses? Well, first of all, they look like this, and their job is to surround extra information in a sentence that could be removed without really impacting the meaning or major information in that sentence. Perhaps the most common things that you'll find in parentheses are acronyms, which are multiple letter abbreviations, usually for things like organizations, schools, and leagues. For example, he goes to Michigan State University, MSU. My father played in the National Basketball Association, NBA. I need some paid time off, PTO. Another common use of parentheses is for date ranges or lifespans. World War III, 2150 to 2154, was very deadly. Jim Jones, 1844 to 1900, was a very kind man. We can also use parentheses for page numbers. For homework, please read Chapter 3, pages 43 to 57. And we might also use them for measurements. The model is 2 feet, 24 inches, tall. I think you get the idea. The point is, we use parentheses to surround extra information in a sentence, kind of like we would with commas, but for more specific things. And other than that basic idea, there are really only 3 things that you need to remember when it comes to using parentheses. First, the stuff in parentheses should always come after the main information. Like, you wouldn't say this, Randy played in the NFL, National Football League. You want the stuff in parentheses, the parenthetical information, to come after the main info. You also don't want to use the extra information as the main information. So like this would be wrong too. Randy played in the NFL, National Football League. The acronym should come after the full name, not before. And the only other rule that you need to remember is that you should be able to take the stuff in parentheses out of your sentence and still have a sentence left. And that includes having all of the punctuation marks that you would need, like this. Watch. Today, we learned about World War I, which lasted from 1914 to 1918. Now, at a glance, this might look correct to you. There's extra information here, it's a date, and we're all good, right? Wrong. Look what would happen if we took the stuff in parentheses out of this sentence. What would the rest of it say? Well, let's read it. Today we learned about World War I, which lasted from... Yikes. Yeah, that would be wrong. The point I'm getting at here is that you can't just put parentheses around every date or every acronym or every page number that you see. You have to actually look to make sure that you can take away that stuff and still have a sentence. And the same thing is true for situations like this. I'd like you guys to read Chapter 7, pages 88 to 99. Now, if we remove the stuff in parentheses here, there is still a sentence. I'd like you guys to read Chapter 7. Except there's one small problem, do you see it? By putting the period inside the parentheses like we did, that means we would actually take out the period from the sentence, which would be a problem because, sentences need periods or some kind of end mark at least. The correct version of that sentence would look like this, with the period on the outside so it doesn't get hijacked and deleted from the sentence with the other stuff. Now, you can have punctuation inside parentheses. It doesn't always have to go on the outside. My point was that you just have to look at it and sort of, use your brain a little bit, like this. Many fast food restaurants, McDonald's, Burger King, etc., are trying to add healthier options to their menus. Now this is correct, because when I take out all the stuff in parentheses, I still have a full sentence with all of the right punctuation. The period inside the parentheses here is supposed to be inside the parentheses, because it's part of the abbreviation. If I put that period outside, and then took out the stuff in parentheses, you can see that I'd have a bit of a problem. Okay, let's take a look at a few examples and see if they're correct or not. The Civil War, 1861 to 1865, was very bloody. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make sure that the stuff in parentheses is actually extra information. And it is. It tells us more about the Civil War. So now all we need to do is see what would happen if we take that information out. The Civil War was very bloody. Yeah, that sounds good, that's correct. Next one. GVSU, Grand Valley State University, is a great school. Okay, so look at the information in parentheses. What do you think? Is it extra? Is that stuff we don't really need? No, right? That's not extra, that's the main information. GVSU, the acronym, is what should be in parentheses. This is how the sentence should look. Couple more. The temperature was 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so check the information in parentheses. Is it extra? Yes, it is. Now, let's see if we can take it out and still have a sentence. Ooh, uh-oh. Bit of a problem here. Because what did we do? Well, we hijacked the period. With the period inside the parentheses like that, if we take this stuff out, that means the period would go away too, which is a problem because then we wouldn't actually have an ending for our sentence. So to fix that, we would very simply do this. Last one. I found the answer in the frequently asked questions FAQ section of the website. Okay, take a look at the stuff in parentheses and see if it's extra. Cool, it is. Now let's take it out and see what we have. I still see a sentence. So, bada bing, bada boom, this sentence is correct. Cool. Well, whether you came here for a refresher or just now learning this stuff for the first time, hope this video helped. Be sure to check out the free practice down in the description, and see you next time. Thanks.